Hello, everyone. Jonathan with Bull Volume, and we got a market recap for you today. It's Tuesday, September 17th, just after market close, and just want to walk through my process as a part time swing trader, how I analyze the market, focus my trades for the upcoming day, and then update any intra positions I have. So, what I have pulled up here is Thinkorswim platform. That's what I use for all my swing trading. And what I like to look at is to get a sense of market health, and then I look at sector health, and I look at individual stock health. So I use the same process each and every day to analyze the market. And I think it's a very efficient way of doing it. Everything I have on my charts, indicators, and graphs is things that I use each and every day, and they make my stock trading much more digestible and actionable. So just wanted to highlight that. That's just kind of some background of how I like to go about my swing trading. So what I do is to look at market health and to also look at market cap. I just look at the IWB, so that's the Russell 1000, and the IWM, which is the Russell 2000. So I use those two indices as my basis to determine, one, is the market in a position where I should be buying or should I be on the sidelines? And then two, where should I be focusing my efforts, on the small caps or mid cap and above? So I would say that 10 billion market cap is kind of the threshold where I like to determine if it's a small cap, or if it's above that, I consider that a mid cap, large cap, or a mega cap. So IWB, looking at the weekly chart, I use the 5 EMA as really one of my biggest signals, making sure that's positive. If it's negative, then I do not make any entries. That's just a way I can determine if it's a risk on or risk off position. It's very simple. So you can see pretty much all of 2024 has been risk on. We've had a couple of 3 to 1 week cycles of risk off where you wouldn't have put any new trades on, but for the most part, it's been up and to the right. So risk on. And then the IWM has been a little bit choppier, more periods of holding to positions or just risk off. But right now, both are showing positive. And then I look at the squeeze indicator as my momentum histogram here. And I look and make sure that it's not a red histogram. So anything that's either cyan, blue, or yellow, I consider that positive from the weekly perspective. So I'll look at that. And then I do a relative strength. And then I use my bull volume indicator and provide a rank. So using those criteria, IWB is setting up nicer than IWM. So that tells me I'm only looking at 10 billion market cap stocks and above. So that just narrows my focus. And I'm also able to know, okay, this is market conditions say I can be putting risk on here, entering new positions. So then from there, I go look at the individual sectors. I've got my spiders here on a watch list. Same methodology. Is the EMA positive or negative? You can see all the sectors are positive except XLE. So energy has just been on a pretty big stair step down. And so I would not be looking for anything in the energy sector. Everything else is at play. And then I'm looking at the squeeze momentum. Majority are positive and upward momentum. Some are positive but having some sell-off pressure. But on the weekly chart, I still consider that conditions where I would put on trades. I look at the relative strength, look at the bull volume indicator index percent, and then I make that a rank. So I can just start from utilities as the strongest sector and work my way down: financials, communication services, industrials, real estate. So this just makes it really simple and clean for me to be able to work on my focus for individual stocks. And what I look for is daily charts here as my main graph. I've got EMAs of 5, 20, 60, and 240. So that's weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually. I got 20 periodontian channels here to help me identify some breakouts. And then I use the squeeze indicator for my momentum and also to look for consolidation conditions. So I look at either 1.5 or 2 ATR squeezes. And then I use the bull volume indicator to look at combination of price action and positive relative volume. That's the green is going to be positions where I'd want to filter for and say, okay, if it's a green, that means it's got bullish price action and high relative volume. If it's red, that's a signal that it's bearish conditions. And that's how I read the the bull volume indicator. I do have a link in the description to this indicator if it interests you. Again, this is my volume indicator that looks at price action and relative volume. And then I got the squeeze indicator. I do have a squeeze that has your standard 1.5 ATR squeeze, and then it has a second tier for the 2.0. I consider that like a pre-squeeze condition, but it's the exact same histogram that is out of the box thinkorswim. So with that, let's see if we can pull up my scanner here, and I'll just show you some stocks that are setting up. So this is anything that's 10 billion market cap and above, and I've got it ranked here by relative strength, and then my bull volume rank percent, and I just multiply those two to get a rank number. And I'd like to use this just so I can go through my stocks to see which ones are strongest. And I just work my way down the list. And so we can see we got some consumer discretionary, LEN, which is looking to break out here. That's several days of higher relative volume and combination of bullish price action. So this is a nice setup. JEF, Jefferies Financial Group. Financials have been on a nice tear. Pretty big pullback here, and then about 5 consecutive days of upward momentum. I'm not seeing a really good setup there. I see some pretty big high upper wick, so I'd pass on that. SSNC, industrials, consolidation period here. Looks a new 52-week high, so that looks like a good setup. AXP, American Express, again, a pretty strong run up, some higher upper wicks. I wouldn't necessarily look for an entry right here, but if it consolidates for a couple days, that might be a good one. Sprouts Farm, this has been, I think, one of the highest, if not the highest performing stock for the year. I mean, you can see just, I've entered this several times and made some money, and it has just been on an upward trajectory throughout the year. So that is looking nice. Consumer staples, it's about mid-tier as far as sector setups. A couple more financials. Quite a bit of upward pressure here. I don't know if I would look for the Synchrony Financial SYF. I would pass on that. IBKR Interactive Brokers, new 52-week high. You can see we had a pretty strong selling day yesterday, high upper wick. We've had several high upper wick days. I'd pass on this for now. Netflix. So here's a stock I'm looking to enter for tomorrow's trading day. You can see we've got several consolidation periods right around this 706 level. And we've got, I would say, a lot of momentum to break through it now. It's consolidated, had a little bit of a pullback, and then regained momentum. We've had no strong selling days since this big pullback in late July. Several strong green days over the past month or so. So I'm looking to buy into Netflix for tomorrow. You can see after hours, it's already up a little bit. I set my buy stop above the close. That's how I do all my entries. CP&G, I believe this is an ADR. I always avoid ADRs. Parker Hannifin, this is looking pretty strong. New 52-week high. Slight pullback, some consolidation here. One strong sell-off day, but it's recovered all that. So this is a decent setup. And here's my second entry that I'm calling out, and that's Hilton. You can see here a lot of consolidation. Got a low here, higher low, some really strong bullish days the last couple of days. Relative strengths at 72 for the year. So this is my second entry I'm looking to enter in for tomorrow. But that's it. That's a stock list. So like I said, my scanner is looking at relative strength of 70 or above. I want the 20, 60, and 240 EMAs to be stacked. I'm looking for a consolidation, so a squeeze level of 2.0 or lower. I've got bullish. I want my bull volume indicator to be a green bar, which means that it has bullish price action plus high relative volume. And I also want a sector that's in play and a market cap's in play. So that's how I approach it. Pretty quick, repeatable, and then I look for good risk to rewards. So please consider like and subscribing. I'm going to plan on doing at least 1 or 2 videos each week to go over the market recap, Like I said, I've got a link in the description to the bull volume indicator that I use. I think it's a very powerful volume indicator that slices the volume into a bull and bear bar if it's relative, or if there's just not a lot of action. You can see it's just a standard volume bar, and you know that's just a period of no entry. So that's how I read that. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, and God bless.